I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, December the 21st, brought to you in part by Safeguard. Safeguard wants to know, is your dewormer working? Text the word SAFE to the number 48109. You'll receive a free fecal test for your cattle. You'll get that test kit, you send it in, and you'll also be entered to win 100 doses of Safeguard pellets and a feed bunk. Christmas break. We're right here, guys, and much of the industry takes the 2 weeks off, Christmas and New Year's, until the New Year off. The entire Southeast is completely shut down. No shippers are working out there, so none of your little mom and pop sale barns are working. They just nobody to buy the cattle. Nobody wants to take delivery of the cattle this time of year. It's just a good time of year to take 2 weeks off, kind of regroup and gather up things. It's not really great for your traders because it stops the float, as some of you guys know what I'm talking about there. But we are going to take some time off. This is your last feeder flash until after Christmas. We are going to have a couple of visits next week between Christmas and New Year's to kind of talk about what little fat cattle trade developed this week, and then visit about some year-end numbers and some annual things that go on. But you guys enjoy your Christmas. I hope you have a great time with your friends and your family. Take some time to kind of look back over the year that we had, all the struggles that we had, the different things that we tried to push, that we're still working on. But you know, this market kind of come up pretty good. You can't really complain about the market. Of course, we're going on the downhill slide, and all we got this week so far is we already had the big string that sells early in the week at Nebraska, and they sold at 135. So is that all we're going to get? Likely this week. 135 is as good as we'll do, and that'll sure be $1 to $2 lower. And we doubt we see a whole lot of pure negotiated cash trade this week. And for you guys that negotiate your grid, there's going to be a hell of a lot of negotiating in that, isn't it? They're going to give you a price. If you want to grid your cattle, you can't, but there's not going to be any negotiation in there. And that's why I say that negotiated grid should not be considered part of pure negotiated cash. But we need to pray for rain. One of the things that I encourage you to do whenever you get family together there, and everybody that doesn't normally do it will say grace before their meal, and go to a candlelight ceremony at their church or something. We need rain, guys, and it is getting scary dry, and has been for quite some time all through the plains. The northern plains have been fighting it for a long time, and the southern plains is about as dry as they can get with these high winds that we've seen, the fires and everything that's gone with. There's very little wheat pasture out there in the southern plains. There's very little grass in the northern plains, and we see why we've thinned our cow herd down so much. We've got great things to look forward to next year. Don't lose faith in this industry if you're in the cow business, because you could be in the driver's seat over the next 3 years if you're able to hold them through this dry period right now. But we've got an industry to be proud of. We've still got great consumer demand for our product. We have as good of export demand as we've ever had, and we're in a good place. But we'd sure like to get some of these legislative things done here early next year if we can. Stay active in your local grassroots cattle organizations. Most of them are affiliates with bigger organizations, and if you make your voice heard, then at some point it's going to make a difference, guys. And I've seen it come true over the last year or two that I've kind of gotten involved in some of these things, that those that show up to the meetings and vote, they're the ones that make a difference. So you can sit back and say, well, the only guys that are involved in this organization is just some hobby farmers and guys like that. Well, if you showed up, then it wouldn't be just that. And if you could make your voice and your vote heard, it would definitely help. But I encourage people to be active in their grassroots trade associations. And that's the only way we're going to see any change, guys, if you guys continue to push for the things that you think will save this industry. Let's look at the board on Monday. December live cattle futures were down 27 cents at 134.47. We're late in the spot month there of December. We had some 135 trade this week, and that's what makes me think that 135 is probably all we'll get this week, and then I don't expect a whole lot of negotiated trade. February contracts on live cattle down 45 cents at 135.97. Your back months were kind of mixed, but mostly lower, from down 57 cents to up just 10. Feeder cattle contracts, January was down $1.02. It's sitting at 159.22, and that's right in there tight with where these index levels are going to end the month, guys. Your real-time index is a little bit lower than that. Your CME cash feeder cattle index is a little higher than that, but it's not current. And whenever we start bringing in these few sales that we have here this week, it's going to drop some and get right in there tight with what your January feeder cattle will leave the board at. But March feeder cattle down $1.20 at 160.50. We've lost the big premium that it was trading to January. You go on your back months of feeder cattle, they were mostly lower, from down $1.12 to up just 5 cents. Grains were modestly higher to start this holiday week, but nothing really earth-shattering or anything like that. But the grains are just going to be higher. All your commodity markets are going to be higher with this record inflation that we're seeing right now. But your fat cattle trade, all we saw confirmed negotiated was a big string, 2,300 head, pretty evenly split between steers and heifers at $135. Box beef cutout values were kind of mixed on Monday. Choice cuts down 63 cents at 262.38. Your selects were up 239 at 250.67. A lot of the analysts that seem to be in the know were thinking that we would probably get down to 250 on your choice cuts, and it may well do that if we see some down markets here with not a whole lot of buying at that level coming in right here late in the month. These retailers are selling a lot of product, and we hope to have good clearance of their product so that your end users, your wholesalers, retailers come back in strong early next year buying beef products. Slaughter, just the one day of the week, but 120,000 for Monday was 2,000 less than last week, 3,000 more than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Beaver County Stockyards is a fairly new customer of DV Auction. They advertise with us here on the Feeder Flash. Really good people there on no man's land on the eastern side of the Oklahoma Panhandle there, Jeff and Jerry Slatton. They do a very good job, and they're just good people to do business with. I tell you what, they're very personable. They will come up and shake your hand and thank you for being there, even if you're just stopping by and checking the barn out. But you know, that barn's been there for a long time, but they've done a lot in the last 3 years or 3 to 5 years. Almost every pen out there is brand new. They've fixed it up. They've got an extra nice lobby there, and they've got some really good employees there that they pay well, and they show up every week. And if you're looking for a place to market cattle, either buy or sell in the Southern Plains there, Beaver County Stockyards is an awfully good place to go. How about your feeder cattle market for the first day of this big holiday week? Real-time index late on Monday sitting at 158.26. That was down 77 cents. Look at the few sales that I saw that did have a sale on Monday. There will be very few sales on Tuesday, and then hardly any on the rest of the week. But Joplin Regional Stockyards had a sale on Monday, their regular Monday sale. This is the last sale Joplin will have until January the 3rd, when they're going to have another big regular Monday feeder cattle sale and a yearling special for the few guys around that have some backgrounded yearlings left to get those marketed, and they should sell really well. But Joplin underestimated what they would have, only calling for 4,500 over the weekend, ended up with 5,100 head of cattle. cattle. Market was called steady, and I looked through all the quotes there, and it sure looked like there was still good demand for all the weights. One stick-out sale that I saw at Joplin Regional Stockyards was 57 head, 769-pound steers at $164. Few other outstanding quotes that I saw around on the Monday. Tri-State Livestock Auction in McCook, Nebraska sold 67 head, 852-pound feeder steers at $162 and a quarter. Elgin Livestock Sales, Ted Baum and his brothers there doing an awfully good job there in eastern Nebraska at Elgin Livestock Sales. They had a stick-out sale of 87 head, 697-pound or same as 700-pound steers, bring $170.50. But the best quote that I saw anywhere on Monday this holiday week, and your Zach Tran top quote for the day, come out of Sioux Falls Regional Livestock, Worthing, South Dakota. The market on your big warmed up feeder steers weighing over 1,000 was called $4 to $6 lower, but it still looked pretty impressive to me. And a big long string of 351 head of 1,042-pound steers bring $154. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.